All right, what's up, everybody? Let's jump into it. Let's just get straight to the meat and potatoes today. OpenAI is about to drop GPT-6. They say pre-training finished 3 weeks ago. It's been in safety eval since. And based on what's been publicly confirmed, it could go live any day this month. It's even been rumored that it could be today. So before the launch day noise hits your feed everywhere, I want to give you a clear framework for what to actually evaluate when it lands, what changed, what it means for how to run your business, and what the first move should be for an operator rather than spend a week sorting through tech takes that aren't written for people actually running businesses. Now, I'm Andrew Mudd. I run Mudd Ventures, an AI implementation business for business owners and operators. I co-founded a sales and marketing agency before this, 25 people in office, multiple $1 million a year, running AI inside real business operations since early 2023. And that's where my lens comes from when I'm speaking in these videos. Now, let me start with what's confirmed before we get into what matters practically. The model has been in development for 2 years internally under the codename SPUD. Pre-training finished March 24th at OpenAI Stargate facility in Abilene, Texas. I think that's how you say it. Stargate is the $500 billion infrastructure joint venture between OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle that was announced sometime within the last few years. Abilene is the first major deployment of that infrastructure. So before the launch, Greg Brockman said publicly, 2 years of research inside of this model, it has a big model feel and it's not an incremental improvement. They're saying it's going to be a big jump and it's a significant change in the way we think about model development. Similarly, you've heard this about the Claude Mythos release. These are going to be two big kind of competing models, which always happens when big models release. They always come out all at once. Now, when someone in this position says that before a launch, just to loop back, one of two things is true. Either the model is genuinely a step change or the statement is part of their PR positioning. And it wouldn't be the first time that OpenAI specifically has overpromised and under-delivered. This video is about giving you the lens to tell the difference when you're actually in it and ready to use the technology when it comes out. The baseline this model is extending is GPT 5.4, which launched March 5th. GPT 5.4 scored 83% on OpenAI's GDP Val benchmark for general knowledge work, 57.7 on SWE Benchmark Pro for software engineering, and 75% on OS World Verified, which tests desktop computer use, because this is where we're moving in the future, is this computer use focus. So OpenAI said that the numbers exceeded human baseline. That's a genuinely strong model if that is true. If it's not, then it's just PR mumbo jumbo again. So GPT-6 is being positioned as a major step beyond what they currently have. It sounds like they're aiming for a moonshot here. And I've been pretty impressed with most OpenAI models recently. Codex was better, but their GPT models, not that good in my opinion. Now, the specific capability claim I'd focus on for this one, and this is the thing that matters most for operators like you, is agentic reliability. Not just raw capability, reliability and multi-step execution. These are not the same thing, and the gap between them is what actually determines whether a model is useful in your operation or just impressive in a demo chat environment. So here's the failure mode that every operator building multi-step AI workflows has run into at some point. The model does step 1, step 2, step 3, and then at step 4, it misreads the output from the previous step, generates something malinformed, and everything downstream is now built on a bad foundation. You often don't catch it until you're looking at the final output. By then, you've wasted time, money, tokens, all this stuff. So you burn compute and you got nothing to show for it. Now, GPT-6 is specifically designed to reduce that failure rate, and that's the claim they're making. And when it drops, that's what we're going to be testing first. So the way I'd approach it when it launches, go through your current AI workflows and identify every place you built in a human review step because the model wasn't reliable enough to trust on its own. Those are your test cases. Now, if GPT-6 delivers on the agentic reliability claims, those are the places the bottlenecks just moved. And that's where you look for the operational gain. Like, that's where you plug this GPT-6 in if it is everything they say it is. Now, every time a major model drops, you can watch who audits their assumptions and who doesn't. The operators who go back through their workflows right after the release and update what's no longer true compound quicker. Everyone else just gets cheaper versions of what they already had. The advantage isn't knowing the model exists. It's identifying the specific constraints in your current setup that just shifted based on what the models can now do for you. On what OpenAI is building this towards, GPT-6 is positioned as the backbone of a unified agentic interface, one place where ChatGPT, deep research, codex memory, and agent capabilities all operate together in an ecosystem similar to what I view as like Claude Cowork right now. So, with the model maintaining context across all of it, by the way, deep research, memory, agents, GPT, it would all just slam into one, which would be nice if done right, because I think some of the models right now, like they do it and the context transfers over, but it does feel like starting new sometimes. And the vision is that instead of you orchestrating between tools manually, the model handles that natively. And we just saw this in managed agents from Claude, right? You can orchestrate a team of agents inside of Claude and it does all of its things. Anyways, this is about GPT. So I'll be direct with you about how I'm reading this. OpenAI has announced versions of this before, and the product has lacked. And that's what I mentioned before when, they've hyped up some releases and it wasn't everything that we thought we were going to be getting. Memory's been inconsistent. Agentic execution has had reliability problems in production that kind of made it impractical for real workflows. That's why Claude is banging so much right now. So I'd calibrate on what actually ships and works rather than what the positioning describes right now. And I'd give it a few weeks of real world use before making infrastructure decisions based on, like really get a feel for what it can actually do versus what they marketed that it can do. Because agents inside of Agent Kit were supposed to be huge at one point. When was the last time you used Agent Kit? So what the difference this time is that OpenAI says GPT-6 is a meaningfully stronger foundation for those ambitions than anything they've had before. And whether the product layer catches up is what we watch in the months after launch. Now, on pricing, OpenAI has not confirmed numbers yet. Based on their trajectory, expect it to come in higher than GPT 5.4 for sure, which that runs $2.50 to $5 per million tokens, depending on context. And the right frame isn't whether it costs more, it's whether the capability improvement justifies the delta for the specific tasks you're running. If it costs more, that's fine. But if it doesn't cost more and do a better job, that's not fine. For complex multi-step agentic workflows, probably yeah. For high volume, simple tasks, GPT 5.4 likely stays your production model if you use OpenAI. Now, you'll probably end up running both with GPT-6 on tasks where reliability and reasoning depth actually earn the price and justify it. Now, one more thing worth knowing going into this launch, Anthropic released Mythos on April 7th, a week ago. So Mythos is locked in a restricted consortium, not publicly available, but the benchmark numbers Anthropic published show a significant gap in coding tasks specifically. So 93.9 on SWE benchmark verified versus GPT 5.4, 57.7 on the pro variant. Now, GPT-6 is OpenAI's answer to that gap is what they're expecting. Whether GPT-6 actually closes it, matches it, or falls short is one of the most interesting questions coming out of this launch and probably in the tech space right now. So I'll run that comparison once it's live and share what I find. And that's pretty much it for me, guys, today. I'm not going to keep yapping about AI. I'll let you get on with your day. But as always, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. Love to chat with you about it. Love to make another video in depth on what you guys are actually requesting. And I do help businesses. I help owners and operators of businesses, agencies, SMBs, sales companies, marketing companies, whatever the case is. I've worked in them all. And if you'd like to learn more about that, I'll drop the link below. I have a newsletter. You can follow that for daily newsletter posts and a walk community as well if you want to join it. There's a free membership that you can join right now to start getting really cool information. And I've got about 10 custom Claude skills that you can just drop right into Claude right now that you can use that I personally used and configured so that way they're really dialed in. So just check those out. But we'll talk soon and I'll see you guys on the next video.